So YouTube has rolled out its Purgatory, basically, and I found an article that talks about what is supposedly supposed to be the first video that has been put into that Purgatory. I can sort of guess why, considering it has to do with race and intelligence, and that's a pretty heated conversation. Regardless of what side you're on, I'm not gonna get into either argument because it's not really the point of this video. But I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So you can see this video looks embedded. Apparently, the embed code was available at some point. So when you click play, it says it can't be watched here, but you can go to YouTube and watch it. So we're gonna go do that. And it brings you to this page that's all blank, except for this little space here. So you click continue, and you can see that you can still play the video, but there is no extras over here. You know, there's no recommended. There's no really anything. If you click here, we can see what limited features for certain videos. So it talks about how it's prohibiting content intended to recruit terrorists, incite violence, celebrate terrorist attacks, or otherwise promotes of terrorism. Some borderline videos, such as those containing inflammatory religious or supremacist content without the direct call to violence or primary purpose of inciting hatred, may not cross these lines for removal. Following news reports, if our review teams determine that a video is borderline under our policies, it may have some features disabled. These videos will remain available on YouTube, but will be placed behind a warning message, and some features will be disabled, including comments, suggested videos, and likes. These videos are also not eligible for ads. If one of your videos has features disabled, we will send an email to notify you. You can appeal the decision directly from a link in the email or by selecting the appeal link next to the video in Video Manager. So let's go back and look at it again real quick. So we got these options. I have TubeBuddy installed so we can see some extra stuff. Stats, it gives this message here. Apparently it still has a like ratio, which I don't understand, so I'm guessing that's because it's reading some metadata that we can't see before it got put behind this, well, put into Purgatory. It still shares us, the amount of shares, the engagement ratio, but it says right here certain features have been disabled. So I mean, it's pretty strange. I can still copy the URL. Let's see what else we got here. We can still do a few things, but not really a whole lot. It's in Purgatory, and it's likely to stay there. Even videos that aren't even really that extreme are probably going to be there. Now, it's important to understand that just because it's a video that was a bit of a racist video type of content, that doesn't mean it's not going to spread, because they've already started banning people for being conservative, basically. Razor Fist has proved that it is actually a blacklist that people get put on. It has really nothing to do with the actual content of a video. It has to do with the content you normally put up. And apparently video games are being put behind this as well. So a lot of times. So this quote, this poem, is very telling for this kind of situation. This quote is telling for this kind of situation. First they came. It's a poem written by German Lutheran pastor and Martin. I don't know how to say that name. It is about the cowardice of German intellectuals, followed by the Nazis' rise to power and subsequent purging of their chosen targets group after group. Many variations and adaptations in the spirit of the original have been published in the English language. It deals with themes of persecution, guilt, and responsibility. Thought crime is basically what is being talked about here, as well as just groups in general. First they came for the Socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a Socialist. Then they came for the Trade Unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a Trade Unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. This is basically a concept of if it doesn't deal with me, I'm not going to do anything about it, even though I see somebody else being persecuted. It's about not standing up for what is good to stand up for. And the idea is that the worst, the most heinous, despicable groups of an entire group will be picked off first, then the next, then the next, then the next. And generally, the despicableness and heinousness isn't defined by any kind of actually valid or objective reason. It's reasoned by the people who are prosecuting people they don't agree with and who are getting away with it because no one's standing up for it and doing anything about it. This is going to happen with YouTubers. It's going to start at the easiest to pick on, and then it's going to keep going. It's going to hit conservatives, and already is hitting conservatives in terms of having rallies and stuff being hit, being labeled white supremacists, even if they're not. It's hitting all kinds of people on YouTube that basically just aren't far left. So it's going to start at the most easy to pick off groups, and it's going to keep moving. It will not stop unless people push back, draw a line in the sand, and stand their ground. And the only way that can really happen with YouTube is basically people keep talking about it, people keep pushing on it, and the people on YouTube take all their content and move it to a different platform. The only solution is to push back and reduce their grip on the video platform market share. That's the only way that anything is going to be done. Just moving to a different platform isn't going to help completely. You have to push back. You have to constantly fight for your freedom, or your freedom will be taken from you.